Yeah, I mean, such a loss with Tupac passing. So young, so much work under his belt by 25 years old, and imagine if Tupac was alive today, like how he'd be influential in politics. How he probably would be the first hip hop billionaire by this time. Before everyone else.
That's very
Uh,
true.
yeah, I mean, very very sad.
Yeah, you let some of these motherfuckers tell it. They didn't know his vision. I remember you know he was like 40. Oh, we was talking, and then he just 40 before we get off the phone. I meant to tell you. He say man, look, you know how they got Planet Hollywood? He said I want to do the same kind of concept, but I want to call it Gangster Cafe. You might want to, you understand me, put your bid in. You might want to, you might want to invest in this. I'm gonna get all the people I fuck with, and I want it to be called Gangster Cafe. We have pictures of Al Capone, all the gangsters, Lucky Luciano, like, what I'm saying, Gotti, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever was gangster at the time, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of his visions. And I can see that happening, I can see that, you know. Who wouldn't want to come to Gangster Cafe, with some good food? I mean, the Planet Hollywood at that time, the way they formatted this stuff, that was Pac's vision, one of his visions. He's very smart, and he'd be front line right now. He'll be front line during these protests. Oh my God, come on, man! You know what he stood for, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in fact, I interviewed Chris Carroll, who was the first responder that showed up at the scene in Las Vegas after he got shot, and he was trying to get Pac to confess who shot him, to try to get something called a death confession. And when Pac realized that he was talking to the police, he was all bloody, blood covering his jewels and everything else like that. He looked at the cop and said, "Fuck you," and then he slipped into a coma, and that was the last thing he ever said. So Pac's last words were "fuck the police."
I looked at him once again. I said, "What happened? Who did this? Who shot you?" And now he's looking at me, so we're looking at each other in the eyes. And this is kind of the first time he's even acknowledging my presence. And he looked at me, and I could tell he was getting a breath together to tell me. And he looked me right in the eyes, and we looked at each other, and he said, "Fuck you." And he said it just like that, with the emphasis on that F to really let me know. That's how he felt. So
that's how serious Pac lived his life. It wasn't just a rap.
He was about his people, man. He was serious about his people, and he talked out about it. He loved his people, and he was real. He was real, man. Ahead of his time. 25 years old, did so much in so little time. And some of these people just don't realize all the stuff he did, man. The man was in movies and stuff. He wrote poetry. He spoke for the people. He spoke for the soil. The females loved him. And I ain't talking about just as a sex symbol or whatever, just because he was a great rapper. They, because of status. No, he spoke to them too. Dear mama, Brenda's got a baby, so on and so forth, man. You feel me? Incredible.
Yeah. Incredible.
The GOAT.
Yeah, I mean,
period.
The GOAT, which is why to this
Sorry.
day, you can't make a top 5 list without putting Tupac on top somewhere there.
Come on, that's real spirit.
Yeah.
If you don't put him in there, you just a straight up hater with a voltage regulator.